Good morning, everybody. Well, think it's time for another story. Anyway, I was a rambunctious child, if y'all hadn't already figured that out. I kind of wanted to do things my own way. Anyway, my daddy wanted to have an apple orchard in Amarillo, Texas, where the wind blows and the dirt flows and everything. Dry, hot summers and cold winters. Anyway, he wants to have this apple orchard. So we go in there and we dig all these holes and we plant all these trees and oh my gosh, we're going to have apples and this, that, and the other. And spring comes and the apple trees bloom, but they're real young, so the rabbits are gnawing the bark off the bottom of the trees and killing them. So we plant new trees. Anyway, Dad gets this idea that we need to fence it. So he gets me a pair of post hole diggers, and on Saturdays and when I'm not at school or got other chores to do, I can dig these post holes. So I dig these post holes and I dig and dig and dig, and I dig a lot of post holes. Anyway, I get down to the last post hole. And Dad's got me a little old stick, he's took his pocket knife and marked it. And when you stick that in the hole, when you get to that mark, that hole's deep enough. So it was a Saturday morning and I went out to finish the last post hole and I dug her down into the stick. Now, I guess I ought to tell you that I had found out during all this wonderfulness that if you have enough power, when you drop them post hole diggers in the ground just right and you yank them just right, you can snap them sticks off. And so we probably went through 2 or 3 sticks before he got smart and carried it down to this fella and had him weld in 2 pieces of pipe that were way tall, very long pieces of pipe, made them real heavy. And so that happened about the 4th or 5th hole. So here I am, I got these post hole diggers with these pipes welded in it. And I'm digging the last hole and I get her dug and I go in the house. Well, my mama fixes me a glass of iced tea and I'm sitting there sipping on that glass of iced tea, and Dad comes around the corner and asked me if I got that hole deep enough, and I said, yeah, I got her dug. So he goes out there and he picks up the post and puts it in the hole, and he looks at me and he says, it ain't deep enough. And I said, well, Daddy, it's as long as that stick. And he goes, it ain't deep enough. So I said, okay. So I dug on it some more, and I got done digging and went in the house, and my mom had fixed me a sandwich, and I was in there eating my sandwich, drinking my iced tea, and Dad come around the corner. He said, you get that hold up? I said, yes, sir, I sure did. And he said, well, let's go look. So we go outside, and he picks the post up, sticks it in the hole, and he goes, boy, that is not deep enough. And I said, Daddy, it's deeper than any other hole. And he grabbed that belt, that little thin, any of y'all ever had Dad that had that little thin black belt? Well, he grabs that little black belt and he looks at me and says, boy, you come back in the house and that hole ain't deep enough. I'm going to wear you out. Do you understand me? I said, yes, sir. So now I'm a little bit angry. So, and when I'm angry, I'm really rambunctious, and I don't know, I was angry. Anyway, so I'm digging along, and I dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, and the next thing I know, I'm on my belly, sticking my fingers in the top of the pipe of the post hole diggers, pushing them apart and shimmying it up, trying to, anyway, I couldn't have got another thimble full of dirt out of that hole if you wanted me to. So I go in the house. Of course, by this time, sweat's pouring off of me, and I go in the house, and Mama fixes me another glass of iced tea, and I'm sitting there sipping that glass of iced tea, and Dad comes around the corner and gives me that look, and he says, boy, did you get that hole dug? And I said, oh, yes, sir. That hole is dug. And he said, well, let's go outside and see. So we go out there. Of course, we get out there, and he grabs up the post, and he sets it over the hole. And when he lets go, that old post kind of go thump, 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 gone. Like disappears. Like out of this world gone. And his face was priceless, I guess. And I seen him reaching for his belt, and I knew I was going to get a whooping anyway, so I took off running. Well, of course, if he's going to whoop me, he's going to whoop me at 100 miles an hour, because I could run pretty good. So he finally caught me and gave me a pretty good whooping. And when he got done whooping on me, he went in the house, and so I sniveled back up toward the house, and I go in, and I'm still kind of, and then my mama fixed me a glass of iced tea. And she looked at me and she said, son, I would have come out there and helped you. But if you could have seen his face when that post disappeared, it was priceless. It was amazement. And so she started laughing. Of course, I was laughing a little bit because I was ornery and I paid for it. But, you know, sometimes that's just the way life is. You got to pay for your raising. So anyway, I thought it was a good story. My dad, of course, he had to fill that hole in after he went down to Old Man Turner's and got him to cut a piece of rebar about yay big, drive it in the top of the post to get it out. He was pretty angry with me. But anyway, I thought maybe y'all would like that story, and hope you get a laugh out of it. And we'll talk to y'all next time. God bless.